Hello everyone, this is Shin Godzilla 2007, and today I'm going to be doing the review of Godzilla Planet Eater. And I have a few things to say about this movie. So, first of all, I'm just going to say this. And it may just be because there's a part of Japanese culture I don't understand, but to me, it was confusing. I didn't understand a lot of what was going on in the movie, and I understood some of what was happening in the vision scene. By the way, this is a spoiler review, but I am gonna put that in the title. But a lot of it I just didn't really understand that much. And again, it's probably because of some part of Japanese culture I don't know or understand. But, so I guess I'll start with the pros. So the animation was pretty smooth in this movie. They definitely did a good job on the animation. And it actually the at the beginning the plot was okay, but when you start getting into it later, it gets to where it's confusing. So here are some. Now I know there wasn't very many pros because I didn't understand a lot of this movie, and one of the first cons I can come up with is that they made it look like Mothra was going to be in the movie, and they showed Mothra in the vision when they were helping Haruo get out of it, but it was just in the vision. It wasn't in the actual plot of the story. And one thing is Ghidorah. Now, this is what so I'm going to tell you what I was hoping would happen. What I was hoping is that Ghidorah would come into the world like this, coming out of the portals. And I've already said this in another video, but he would end up in a form like you see in this fan art here. And this is what I wish he would have looked like. But this is what he did look like. And Ghidorah in this movie was another thing that was sort of confusing, because he was being controlled by a humanoid. I know it was not a human, but some sort of humanoid person I don't really know any other way to describe the Exif anyway. And a lot of this movie was just overall confusing, and I wish the fight could have had more action than it did, because a lot of the fight was just Godzilla shooting his atomic breath at Ghidorah, and then it would reflect off, and then the two other heads came out of the sky and bit him, and then that was most of the action that happened in the fight. And then of course the Exif guy, I can't remember his name, and even if I did remember his name, I probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it, but the Exif guy who was controlling him, when he died, before this, Godzilla was not able to touch Ghidorah, but Ghidorah was able to bite Godzilla and touch Godzilla. And then Godzilla was able to touch Ghidorah, and it's just like the fight just ended. Godzilla, like, I can't remember, I think Godzilla shot one of them with his taunt breath, and it made the head disappear. And then one of the other heads. Now this is actually, it was pretty cool to see, but he ripped the bottom jaw off of it, and and it killed that head. And no, this is actually sort of a pro, but the way Godzilla finished Ghidorah was pretty cool. How he was able to destroy all the heads, and I already mentioned this, but how he pulled the bottom jaw off of that one looked pretty cool. But I still wish King Ghidorah came into a physical form. And Godzilla in this movie is he's sort of slow to attack. Like, his arms, like, it takes him a while to lift it up. And while he does hit faster than he lifted his arm up, it's still not that fast. Like, I almost feel like in Godzilla Monster Planet, Toho really knew, or like, they really knew what they wanted to do, and they executed it pretty well. But then these last two, and the last two in the anime series, Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle and Godzilla the Planet Eater, and I'm doing a review of Godzilla the Planet Eater right now, I feel like they had not had any extremely good ideas for them, so they had to use the best one that they had already had. All I'm saying is that the first one was executed pretty well, and then the second two did not do well. And I think the reason I feel like I would have liked the Planet Eater more if it didn't have so many confusing things in it. And again, it's probably just a part of Japanese culture that I don't understand, but still, it just didn't make sense to me. But yeah, this movie was definitely not one of my favorite Godzilla movies. It's definitely not the worst. I still think the worst is Godzilla's Revenge, because that was a terrible movie. But yeah, so I'm going to give this movie a final rating of if you like this movie, I'm glad you liked it, but this is my opinion. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10.